Imagine how ironic it would be if I got cancelled for making this video. Please don't cancel me. Hey, what's up you guys, it's me Luke and welcome back to another video, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I post commentary and critique and reaction videos every single week, so if any of that interests you, make sure that you go ahead and subscribe and turn on that post notifications bell so that you never miss another upload. Alrighty guys, so in today's video we're talking about a bit more of a serious topic that I've been wanting to touch on for a while, but have been a little bit nervous and also just a little bit wary because it is a very taboo topic. But I've done my research, I've taken my notes, I've consulted with my viewers, you guys. I spoke to you guys over on my community tab and asked for your inputs on cancel culture, what you thought of it, what you want me to speak about. So in some way you guys helped me shape this video. So if you want to be a part of shaping one of my next videos, make sure that you have the notifications bell on so that you can be a part of it in my community tab, or follow me on Instagram and Twitter, link down below, because that's usually where I ask you guys for questions and your input. So as I was saying, today we're going to be speaking about cancel culture. But before we do, let's go ahead and grab that definition, because y'all know how I like to keep it professional. I mean, heck, I'm wearing a button up. Gotta keep it profesh. Let's get into it. So the Urban Dictionary definition of cancel culture, as it's the only definition that I could find, is that it is a modern internet phenomenon where a person is ejected from influence or fame by questionable actions. It is caused by a critical mass of people who are quick to judge and slow to question. It is commonly caused by an accusation, whether that accusation has merit or not. It is a direct result of the ignorance of people caused communication technologies outpacing the growth in available knowledge of a person. Okay, so that was a lot, but let's just go ahead and delve into that, because there's a lot that I want to say about that and a lot that I don't agree with. I mean, obviously, it's me. When do I ever agree with anything? Okay, so first of all, this behavior has existed before the internet. There was just another name for it, that being a boycott, which according to Google is when one withdraws from commercial or social relations with a country, organization, or person as punishment or protest. Essentially, the gist of it is that we don't want to be associated with individuals, companies, brands, or products who have done something to offend us and who don't align with our morals and beliefs. And for the most part, this isn't a bad thing. Those in positions of power need to be held accountable for their actions because of the large influence that they have. Without such accountability, they would be able to be offensive and immoral without any repercussions and cause serious harm due to the massive influence that they hold. They could influence people to do the wrong things, they could be misguiding people or manipulating them, all because they weren't being held accountable in the first place. And in some worst cases, if we didn't have this culture of holding people accountable, or cancel culture for a lack of a better word, then people could get away with crimes or have crimes but still hold influence over a large group of people, like Harvey Weinstein before he was caught, for example. He had been accused of doing horrible things to women, and because it hadn't been exposed yet, people were still continuing to support him in his movies. If you're doing something completely immoral and wrong and illegal, the public deserve to know so that they can act accordingly and choose whether or not they support you. It's just like now how brands and companies have to be more transparent about how sustainable their products are so that customers can make an informed decision about whether or not they want to purchase their products, because at the end of the day, we vote with our dollar and our clicks and our views, and we as the consumer deserve to know where that is going to. Another issue that I had with the definition is the implication that the audience is in the wrong for canceling the individual brand or company. Not only is it unfair and wrong to place all of the blame on the audience, it also allows for the people who have done the wrong thing to play the victim card. But herein lies the big problem with cancel culture nowadays. With the rise of social media, everything is more public and more accessible, and every single person nowadays is granted the opportunity to a platform so that they can share their opinion. And this is both good and a bad thing. A lot of the time, people online blow things out of proportion, nitpick, and just jump on a bandwagon of hate. However, this is not always the case. There are a lot of instances where somebody has done something offensive and immoral or downright criminalistic, and they deserve to be held accountable. See, through from looking at it from both sides, I'm hoping you guys can see that cancel culture is really not so black and white. There's no wrong or right answer, and everything differs from a matter of perspective and opinion. It's a very gray topic with many nuances that need to be explored, and that's what we'll be doing in today's video. We're really going to delve into the roots of the problem and determine what warrants a cancellation, the effects of being cancelled, and does cancelling people even work? And we're going to look at this through looking at different perspectives through various different case studies, if you will. Some problematic cases we'll be analyzing and examining and investigating will be Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star's problematic past and the James Charles and Tati Westbrook bi-sister scandal, as well as a lot of other problematic influences like Kevin Hart and Jaclyn Hill and the Ace family, and honestly the list could go on because there is a lot of them. Honestly, y'all need to get your shit together. So buckle in, my friends, because it's gonna be a bumpy ride. That was a terrible joke. But before we hop into it, a few words from today's sponsor. Yes, that's right. I have a sponsor. I'm officially a professional YouTuber. Anyways, so today's video is sponsored by Skillshare, the online learning community with over thousands of classes covering dozens of creative and entrepreneurial skills. As some of you may know, because I just mentioned it in my recent videos, I recently finished university for the year, but I really don't want to just lay around like a couch potato for the next 3 months. I really want to learn a lot of different skills that I've been wanting to for a while, and Skillshare is the perfect platform for me to do that on. I've actually been taking Brandon Wolflu's photography class. If that name sounds familiar, you may have seen him on Instagram. He is an amazing photographer, and I myself have always been interested in photography, but I'm honestly just such an amateur and there's a lot that I don't know about it. So his course is absolutely great for me. He goes through his entire creative process and teaches me so many valuable skills that I would otherwise have to pay thousands for in an in-person workshop. And that's what's really great about Skillshare. Their premium access membership allows you unlimited access to join whatever and however many classes that you wish, and an annual subscription to Skillshare is less than $10 a month. So I highly recommend you check out Skillshare if you're looking to develop or learn a new skill, or if you're just looking to further your productivity, your creativity, your career, your life. And what's really great is because Skillshare is sponsoring this video, if you sign up using the link in my description, you actually get a 2-month free trial. So honestly, why not give it a go? Anyways, thank you for sponsoring this video, Skillshare, and let's hop right back into it, because I'm about to dive in. I'm slightly overcaffeinated. Anyways, moving on. So I've always had really strong opinions about cancel culture and have always wanted to make a video on it, but have kind of been nervous because it's kind of a taboo topic. But then again, when have I ever shied away from the taboo topics? So today I thought it was a very fitting time to do so, and this video was sparked by the recent controversy surrounding the Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson makeup launch. I'm not going to get into that because you guys probably know what's going on. They had this entire series, they released this entire makeup line, they broke the internet. It's just a huge big deal. But what a lot of people aren't talking about is the underlying controversy surrounding it, and that's what we're going to get into a little bit. So while the two are seemingly loved by all of the internet, there are some people who do despise them for their past actions. And honestly, I can't really blame them, because at the end of the day, you can't really dictate how someone feels. Now, if you're not sure what I'm referring to, Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson have both been called out for their past actions, which were ignorant, offensive, and kind of racist, to be honest. Now, I personally don't believe the two are currently racist. That's just how I personally feel. But if you feel that way, that is absolutely okay, and those are your feelings and those are valid. I don't think that you can verbatim say that they are racist as a fact, but you also can't dispute that they are not. It's a matter of opinion. And a wise person once told me that someone's opinion of you is none of your business. I don't remember who said it, but someone said it, and it sticks with me to this day. Kind of like my acne, which I thought would be gone by now. But anyway, that's another story for another time. So I saw this video on Twitter. It is highly offensive, and it is of Shane Dawson saying multiple slurs to black people. He says the N-word, various other things, refers to them as animals, and wears blackface. It was shocking, offensive, appalling, and honestly, I just cannot believe that he did that. However, I tried to take a little bit of a step back and play devil's advocate, and you know, these videos were made 10 years ago, and I'm a firm believer that people can change. However, I do believe that people can't just say that they've changed. They need to actually show it with their actions, and you also need to look at people's patterns of behavior. If it's something they keep apologizing for but they keep doing, then therein lies an issue. But we'll get into that a little bit more just now. But first of all, I wanted to touch on this notion. It actually has a name, actually. Let me pull it up. It's called the tall poppy syndrome, which is when people try and bring people down when they're doing well and when they're thriving with something that they've done or said in the past. An example of this, which you guys may have remembered, was the Kevin Hart situation. So Kevin Hart was due to host the Oscars, and everybody was excited. I was a fan of Kevin Hart at the time. Can't say I am anymore. However, there are people who don't like him, as there is with anyone, and those people decided to dig through his old tweets and resurface some of them from a decade ago, which were quite homophobic. Now, obviously, what he did was wrong. However, key aspect of the situation is it was 10 years ago. Are we honestly under the belief that people can't change in 10 years? Is it that hard to comprehend that somebody could think a certain way 10 years ago and think a different way in the present? I personally believe that they can. However, the issue with the Kevin Hart situation is that he didn't apologize. Do I personally think that he deserved to be booted off from hosting the Oscars just because he said something problematic a decade ago? No. However, the fact that he refused to apologize for it, maybe that does warrant him no longer doing it. Literally, all the Oscar committee wanted him to do was just make a public apology for his tweet, and he refused to do so. If you don't agree with what your past self said, why is it just so hard for you to just apologize for it and move on with your day? I mean, is your pride really that fragile? I mean, I guess it is, considering you lost a great opportunity over it. Now, where this relates back to Shane and Jeffree is there are many who saw them succeeding and thriving, but decided to go ahead and resurface some old problematic things that they had done in the past to try and bring them down because they didn't like them. And like I said before, and like I will continue to say, I'm absolutely not excusing anything that Shane or Jeffree did, but I don't think that the two of them are racist because of their past actions. Now, when I was doing my research and preparations for this video, I went ahead and rewatched both of their apology videos, and the two did seem genuinely apologetic. It wasn't like some of those half-assed apologies where like they weren't trying to defend themselves, they were admitting that what they did was wrong. They are no longer that person, they don't agree with that stuff, it didn't come from a malicious intent, and you know what? It's up to you whether or not you want to forgive them. However, I don't think you need to dictate how people feel. If there are people out there who are buying Shane and Jeffree's products, just leave it be. That's their prerogative, just like you not buying their products and not liking them is your prerogative. And I think the real negative side of cancel culture is a lot of people who perpetuate it don't allow or accept that people can change and grow. And like I said, I'm a firm believer that people can change. However, I don't just like it when people apologize and say they're going to change or say they've changed. I think people need to show that they've changed. And I mean, have Jeffree and Shane shown that they've changed? Well, I suppose that's up for debate. In the past years since their apology, there hasn't been any racist content that I'm aware of, and Jeffree's brand seems to be pretty inclusive, and Shane seems pretty remorseful for what he said, and he doesn't really make jokes like that anymore. But that's pretty much all we have. We don't have a ton showing that they've changed, and besides, the jury is still out on this one because Shane still continues to profit off of merch that perpetuates harmful stereotypes of black women, and I don't think that's okay. He should have brought it down already. I'm not sure why he hasn't. Maybe he doesn't realize it's offensive, maybe it's because it's a character he holds dear to him, or maybe it's just because he genuinely forgot that it's still up there. Whatever it is, I think that if Shane was really truly showing that he had changed, he should no longer be selling that shirt. So I think what I'm getting to is that you can't really tell if these people have changed. It's really up to you to decide whether or not you forgive them. And like I've said, I really don't think it's up to you to dictate how other people feel. If somebody doesn't want to forgive Shane and Jeffree and doesn't want to buy their products, and if somebody does like Shane and Jeffree and does want to buy their products, that's their prerogative. You don't need to try and change their mind by bringing them down with the past stuff that they've done. People know that they've done these things. A lot of people do. It has been huge scandals throughout time, and just because somebody continues to support them while knowing this stuff does not make them a horrible person. It just means that they have chosen to forgive them. And that's the problem with cancel culture and stan culture, is we are allowed to have different opinions, and some people just can't comprehend that and just don't respect each other's opinions. I mean, yes, it's different if somebody's dragging your fave, but even then I wouldn't feel the need to defend them. Like, honestly, who has the energy for that? And the truth of the matter is, not everyone is gonna like who you like. Some people are gonna even hate the people that you like, but why do you need to defend them? Why do you care if Joe Blow doesn't like Ariana Grande? If you like Ariana Grande, that's all that matters. Like, I don't understand why there's this constant battle on stan Twitter of people comparing each other's faves and saying such and such is better, such and such is better, and defending each other. Like, literally, who cares? Y'all need to get a life, okay? Get off Twitter and live your life. I honestly don't stan anyone except myself. And for real, guys, for real, if you are a stan of somebody, these celebrities and influencers do not need you to defend them, and the harsh reality is they have no idea you exist. So stop advocating and pushing so hard for somebody who wouldn't do the same for you. Let it be, y'all. Let it be. It is not worth your energy. Oh my god, I kind of sound like a rapper. However, when it comes to bringing up people's past grievances to try and bring someone down when they're up and thriving, most of the time I think it is unnecessary and unproductive if the person has already apologized and shown that they've changed. We've all said and done things that we regret. The problem now with social media is that everything is publicized and permanent for anyone who doesn't like you to find and use against you. It's got to the point where even if you disagree with your past self and you said them at the time because you were ignorant or because of the current social climate, whatever it may be, but either way, cancel culture doesn't care. Whether you said it yesterday or 10 years ago, somebody who doesn't like you is still gonna find it and still use it against you. And that's the problem, is it's almost like people throw their logic and time in the air and just forget that those are things that exist. It's always like, you said that, now you're canceled, and that's it, period. When really, it's not on period, okay? That is not on period. I don't know, y'all, at this point, none of us are safe. Maybe we should all go through our old social media and delete anything that could be used against us. Oh god, living in 2019 is honestly so exhausting. Now don't get it twisted, y'all. I want to make it very clear that I'm not trying to insinuate that there are not reasons why people deserve to be cancelled, because they are. I'm not placing the blame on the people who do the cancelling, okay? Sometimes people warrant a cancellation. Is any of this making sense? Because right now I feel like I'm just going mad because I've said the word cancel so many times. Oh my god, my brain cells are cancelled. So for example, we had that Romeo Lacoste dude who was some famous tattoo artist until he was exposed for doing inappropriate things and using his power to manipulate young girls to do inappropriate things with him. I know, really gross. And then we had that Brooke House girl who was literally caught on camera abusing her dog. And these people people obviously have done criminalistic things that are wrong, and they do not deserve a platform or an influence over anyone. I feel like we can all collectively have an agreement on that, and that's some of the situations there are. There are cancellation situations, that kind of rhymed, where we all agree that this person has done something wrong and they deserve to be cancelled. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that there's two types of cancellations. There's that cancellation where I just spoke about, where we as a society collectively agree to cancel someone because they have done something that is kind of point blank factually wrong. But then there's the personal cancellation, where you personally decide to no longer support someone or cancel someone in your eyes because they offended you and they did something that you disagree with that doesn't go along with your morals or beliefs. But see, the problem is with cancel culture and stan culture is people don't realize that there's a difference between the two. People often feel as though that because they've cancelled somebody, everybody else needs to too. And that's not the case. Everybody is allowed to go about things differently and have a difference of opinion. If I don't want to cancel somebody and you do, that's my prerogative, sis. And it goes the other way around, okay? And it's a really big problem nowadays in cancel culture, because encouraging other people to cancel someone based on your feelings can lead to bandwagon cancellations and bandwagon hate trains, which brings us onto our next case study, the James Charles and Tati Westbrook bi-sister scandal. So back in May, Tati Westbrook, a booty guru here on the YouTube, posted a video which she has since deleted titled Bi-Sister, where she essentially, for lack of a better word, exposed James Charles for predatory behavior and for using his power to manipulate straight men into doing things with him. Now see, the thing with that situation is Tati didn't actually have any concrete evidence backing up her claims, but the internet doesn't need proof. They just hear a claim that fits their narrative and they run. It's like a pack of wolves. I'm honestly getting more and more scared as this video goes on. Now look, I'm not trying to position myself in a high horse and say that I'm above it all, because some of you, if you've been with my channel for a while, will remember that at the time I made a video on the situation, and I did delete that video a few days later because I realized that I shouldn't have hopped onto it so quickly, and I should have waited till there was evidence or to hear James's point of view. And I deleted that video and ended up posting another video kind of reflecting on my thoughts and saying that what I did was wrong and how I would have gone about it differently. And I feel like I've changed since then. Try not to like hop on things too quickly. I try wait till we have a bit of proof, or if we have both sides of the story so we can get multiple different perspectives. Now who really knows what happened back in May? Maybe Tati truly felt this way about James because of some things that she had seen and heard, and maybe there was some misunderstandings and they just have different senses of humor. I mean, there is a pretty big age gap between the two, so they're bound to interpret things differently. But what we do know is that after that video was published, we saw the biggest downfall in a YouTube channel in I think the history of YouTube. James Charles, after that scandal, lost 4 million subscribers within a week. I know. And the entire situation was just a mess. People were creating memes about it. People were hosting live streams where they celebrated the downfall of his career by watching his social blade go down. And there were a bunch of straight guys making false claims that he had done stuff to him so they could gain some clout. And even the hashtag James Charles is over party was trending on Twitter. Now look, if you guys keep up with me and you watch my videos and you follow me on Twitter and Instagram, link down below, it's no secret that I'm not a fan of James Charles. In my opinion, he's egotistical and annoying, and he's just not my cup of tea, really. And that's okay, that's just my opinion. However, just because I don't like him doesn't mean I was on board with this whole James Charles hate train. He's still a human being and was dragged through the mud over claims that hold no validity. And with people like Jeffree Star adding to it all, that just adds to this hate train that is kind of just like a snowball that then turns into an avalanche of hate. And now a lot of the times people can get cancelled and people just forget about it, but also a lot of the times there are some effects from being cancelled that people don't really speak about. I mean, even Manny MUA, who was cancelled in the first Dramageddon situation, he never recovered from his cancellation, and I don't think that what he did warranted the level of cancellation that he received, and even made a video about it. And you know, that's really sad. And the thing is, it affects these people's mental health. James Charles touched on that as well. He spoke about how he was in a really, really dark place. And I remember even when the stuff was happening, I was speaking to my sister and I was like, okay, I feel like it's gotten to a new level. Like, I almost feel bad for him. Like, what happens if he does something to himself? Like, that's what people don't realize, is there's a human being behind the screen. And keep in mind, this is me saying this and I don't even like him, but I'm a decent human being with morals who doesn't believe that other human beings should be treated like this. And even after people seemingly forgave James, his channel and him never really fully recovered. I mean, his views are nowhere near as high as they used to be. He lost friendships from this. I'm sure he must have lost some sort of brand deals as well. And now to this day, people watch him like a hawk, looking for any opportunity to cancel him. And look, you can still hold James Charles accountable if he does anything wrong. I know I do, but there are people who nitpick at him and who comment nasty things or look for any opportunity to cancel him, even if it's something so minute. And that's really the problem, is when it comes to cancel culture, canceling people who have done things that are really horrible and don't deserve a platform, and holding people accountable accountable are very different to just hating on people because you don't like them and looking for any opportunity to cancel them. They're two very different things. But I would like to reiterate back to my first point that I'm not placing all of the blame on the audience and the people who jump on the bandwagon of hate. At the end of the day, the person who started all of this was Tati. You know, I really like Tati, but she should have not done that. She shouldn't have uploaded that video. It was not necessary. She could have kept that stuff private. And same with Jeffree. I said this in my video where I spoke about the entire situation. Jeffree should have not chimed in. He should have kept out of it. He did not need to do that. He completely perpetuated the situation and made it so much worse. And this is a pattern that we see with influencers. They can never just keep things to themselves. They can never just pick up the phone and sort things out privately. Everything needs to be publicized. Unless the influencer's actions directly affect the viewers, I don't think that it needs to be publicized. Deal with it yourself. And then they wonder why they're always getting into scandals and there's always dramas, and they place all the blame on the drama channels. Drama channels wouldn't make videos if y'all didn't give them content to make videos on, for the most part. We'll get into it. So personally, my takeaway from the entire situation is I don't believe that James should have been cancelled over it, but I guess that begs the question, what warrants someone being cancelled, and why did things in that situation escalate so quickly? Now, as a commentary channel who reports on various topics, I personally try my best to wait for all of the evidence and the proof and both sides to come out, but sometimes I do report on things a little bit early and stuff will come out later on. But for the most part, I like to look at things from both point of views and almost play devil's advocate. I will usually have a clear side that I'm on, but I'll try and look at it from both point of views. However, there are drama channels out there who are not like that. Some of them will literally see something and run with it straight away and post it on social media as soon as it's happened, before the influencer in question has even had an opportunity to make an apology or make a statement, and they'll just kind of look at it from that point of view. And don't get it twisted, y'all. I'm not looking to get into a scandal. I'm not throwing shade at any particular drama channel. I mean, heck, I guess some people might even think of me as one because I occasionally dip my toe into the cesspool of drama that is influencer culture. But at the end of the day, like I said, drama channels are merely reporting on the news that influencers provide them with. And if influencers weren't so problematic, they wouldn't have the news to report on. However, there are channels out there who nitpick and make videos about the tiniest little problems that honestly just don't need a 10-minute video on it. But then again, I guess we all know why they do that. Money. Yeah, I see you with your mid-roll ads every 2 minutes. You ain't slick. But no, for real, why upload an 8-minute recording of an influencer's Snapchat in your 10-minute video? Why create an entire drama? You're just reaching for drama. You're just looking for any opportunity to make videos. And what I'm getting at here is the influencers are part of the problem, the audience are part of the problem, and so are these channels. Now look, reporting on drama and news is fine. We all like to stay in the loop. We all like a little bit of tea, but perpetuating the drama created by those who nitpick at these influencers and celebrities is part of the problem when it comes to cancel culture and what gives drama channels a bad name. Y'all need to start picking your battles wisely and reporting on the news that actually matters. And same goes with these influencers and celebrities. Learn to keep shit private. You don't need to publicize everything. Sometimes it's okay to have a thought and not tweet it. I know, shocker. And at the end of the day, y'all, the truth is that sometimes canceling someone doesn't even work. It's not even worth your energy. I mean, look at Jaclyn Hill. The woman sold moldy, hairy lipsticks with metal in them, and the woman is thriving in a $20 million mansion, gaining millions of views and living her best life. Do I think that what she did was wrong and she should be held accountable? Yes, she kind of got away with it. It sucks. But that's just proof that cancel culture doesn't even really work most of the time. And if you don't like someone and you want to personally cancel them, you don't need to comment on their Twitter post or their Instagram or their videos, whatever. The best thing that you can do is just completely ignore that person, because at the end of the day, on social media, engagement is engagement, and you doing that stuff is actually kind of helping them. Like if people leave hate comments on someone's video, YouTube doesn't know what it is. The algorithm just sees it, picks it up, and is like, engagement, bump it up. If you really want to cancel this person, just ignore them. Don't support them. Don't watch their stuff. Don't buy their products. You vote with your coin and with your clicks and with your views. And that is the truth tea on that. Now, like I said, it all bases on different situations. That's how I personally go about people I'm not really a fan of. But there are other instances where I, even myself, tried to cancel someone, for lack of a better word. I don't really aim to cancel someone. I just kind of spread awareness. So you guys know that it is no secret that I do not like the Ace family. I have made 2 videos on them now. And the reason I don't is because, well, to sum it up, they exploit their children and lie, mislead, and manipulate their audience to profit off of them. Okay, I just don't like them. I think they're horrible people. I think what they do is horrible, and I don't like what they stand for, and I don't think that they should have the platform that they do. So I make my videos to spread awareness on the issues with their channel. I personally think that's very different than me just sitting on here making a video nitpicking at James Charles because I don't like him. The two things are very different, okay? And I will never be like that. You're never gonna catch me nitpicking at the tiniest little pathetic pieces of drama just to make a video out of it. I want to use my channel to spread awareness about actual issues, you know, spread the news that is actually relevant and matters and that has offended people and created serious problems, not just this little petty drama. Like, honestly, I don't want to add to the cancel culture that already exists. But, you know, at the end of the day, maybe I do. It's up to you whether you want to decide if I do or I don't. And now I do realize that I've made several contradictions throughout this video, but like I said before, this topic is not so black and white. It is all based on circumstances and situations and matter of perspective and matter of opinion. But basically, to sum it up, up. I think that holding people accountable is perfectly fine and perfectly necessary, as is sharing your opinion. I am a huge advocate for voicing your opinion. When it comes to hate, that's a different story. If somebody has done something wrong and you want to voice your opinion on that, great. But if somebody's just living their life and you're just hating on them, sis, really, you're doing yourself a disservice. You could be using that time so much better. So basically, moving on, we can continue to hold people accountable. That is okay. But let's not give in to cancel culture and let it take the better of us. Take the high road sometimes. Keep your opinion to yourself sometimes, unless you think it is warranted. It's up to you to decide, really. So have I achieved anything with this video? I don't really know. It's such a nuanced topic that is so difficult. Maybe I'll come back to it again, but I don't have a definitive answer. Anyway, guys, that's it for me in this video. I feel like this video was just one big tangent, and I don't really know if I achieved my overall point, but I'm here to open a discussion and start a conversation, and I would love to hear your guys' thoughts down below. Let's have a respectful conversation where we can respect each other's opinions, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and let me know what you thought of it. And as always, make sure that you go ahead and subscribe and turn on the post notifications bell if you haven't already, and make sure that you go ahead and sign up for your 2-month free trial with Skillshare by using the link in my description. And while you're down there, you can also go ahead and follow me on my social medias, as they are just linked down below. Alrighty guys, that's it for me in this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in my next one. And of course, I hope that you have a great day or night wherever you're in the world. Bye.